I have to say, Xbox has been firing on all cylinders lately. I mean, not only is Phil Spencer making the rounds in regards to interviews, but he's directly combating a lot of negative feedback that Xbox has gotten over the last couple of months. Because if we rewind a few months ago, we know that Xbox had their Inside Xbox show where they showed a couple of third-party exclusive games for the Xbox Series X. And while I enjoyed that event a little bit, they still left much to be desired, and Xbox fans were very vocal about that show and the negative spin that they had on it, which it seems that Xbox heard loud and clear, because for the last week, not only has Xbox been involved with buying multiple new studios like WB, but Phil Spencer and even Matt Booty have been on this marketing campaign doing multiple interviews talking about Xbox's next-gen strategy. Not to mention hyping up this Xbox event that's going to happen in the next week. And once you think things will start to slow down a little bit before the show starts, Phil Spencer ends up posting this massive information dump about the Xbox Series X and how they're putting us, the gamers, at the center of everything they do. It's a very confident write-up and something I think Xbox does very well, which is them being extremely transparent when it comes to their focus on the next generation. Not to mention, he talks about the Xbox Series X being the best place to play your games, which to me is a direct shot at Sony's PlayStation 5 console. This rampage of information and marketing by Xbox is on full blast, and I'm glad we're all sitting here enjoying this ride. Let's hope they continue to do this, but until then, let's get into this write-up and discuss some of the biggest points that I found to be pretty relevant to the next generation and the launch of the Xbox Series X. But like always, if you like the video, hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support is greatly appreciated. So first of all, I do have to say that we all know the Xbox Series X will be the most powerful console next generation. That's a known fact and something that a lot of insiders have said, not to mention Xbox themselves. You throw in that Sony has never said they will have the most powerful console with the PS5, and you have this perfect storm from Xbox when it comes to their confidence. Not only do they repeatedly say that games will run best on Xbox, but they even take this generation away from the PS4. Because of the smart delivery and the back-compat software that Xbox has, they essentially become a one-stop gaming center. And at that center is the gamer, and they want you and me to decide what we want, not the other way around like Sony has done. And one of the best quotes in this entire write-up talks about how great games will run on the Xbox Series X. Here's what Phil Spencer himself had to say. Your games will look and play best on the Xbox Series X. Xbox Series X is designed to deliver a new level of fidelity, feel, performance, and precision never seen before in console gaming. All games will look and play best on Xbox Series X, whether they come from our 15 Xbox game studios like Halo Infinite or from our world-class publisher and developer partners. Packing over 12 teraflops of GPU power, including new technologies like hardware-accelerated DirectX ray tracing and variable rate shading, and with 4 times the processing power of an Xbox One X. Xbox Series X enables developers to provide you with transformative gaming experiences through richer, more dynamic living worlds, more realistic AI and animations, and support for higher frame rates, including support for up to 120 FPS. So right off the bat, we can see that Phil is saying that all games will look and play best on the Xbox Series X. This line has been thrown around for a little while now, and it seems like it's the main slogan that Xbox wants people to know about before the console's launch. Because for years, a lot of people have said the PS4 has always been more powerful than the Xbox One. And because of that, it really did hurt Xbox's marketing this entire generation. But now that Xbox went back to the drawing board and wanted to dominate this upcoming generation with power, they aren't letting things like this slide by. They want to make sure that everyone that goes to buy a new console this holiday season, that Xbox will be the place that has the best looking games. And it's not just words, he even goes into the specs of the machine, talking about the 12 teraflop GPU, and that will be top of the market console wise. You throw in hardware accelerated DirectX ray tracing and variable rate shading, and you have a very capable machine. But one of the best things has to be the CPU, and how it's 4 times the processing power of the current generation of consoles. And that will allow developers to make 120 FPS games on the Xbox Series X, which I think will come up a lot more than people think. especially with how powerful the CPU is. And all of this would be an amazing, true next generation jump. But Phil Spencer doesn't stop there. He also says this: Xbox Series X also enables you to spend less time waiting and more time playing, as it virtually eliminates load times with a 40 times boost in I/O throughput from last generation. With our custom next generation SSD and Xbox Velocity architecture, nearly every aspect of playing games is improved. Game worlds are larger, more dynamic, and load in a flash, and fast travel is just that, fast. The Xbox Velocity architecture also powers new platform capabilities like Quick Resume, which enables you to seamlessly switch between multiple titles and resume instantly from where you last left off without waiting through long loading screens. Right now, Xbox Series X is in the hands of our 15 Xbox Game Studios teams and thousands of third-party developers, empowering them to create a new generation of blockbuster games for you to enjoy. Before I even read all this information by Phil Spencer, I knew he was going to talk about the SSD and how Velocity architecture is going to close the gap considerably between the Xbox Series X and the famous PS5 SSD. Xbox has been talking about this Velocity architecture for a very long time, and finally they're starting to unveil it a little bit, and how it's going to help developers really change the way they make games. Not to mention, it will truly take away an advantage away from the competition. It's a very smart thing that Xbox is trying to do, because I know people have been talking about SSD and I/O throughput for months now, because it's the only thing that the PS5 has a slight advantage in. And while that's great, it still doesn't compare to the advantage Xbox has in every other aspect of the machine. And that's exactly why we're seeing all of this information come out today, and why we've seen information come out for several weeks. It's to show that Xbox is trying to squash every single narrative coming out about the two consoles. Because in reality, Xbox has the superior console, and they plan on showing the games running on it at the July event. But let's say you want to wait a little bit to upgrade to an Xbox Series X. That's fine, because Xbox has you covered, and it's something I have a feeling Xbox is smart to do. Here's what Phil Spencer says about not leaving anyone behind. You won't be forced into the next generation. We want every Xbox player to play all the new games from Xbox Game Studios. That's why Xbox Game Studio titles we release in the next couple of years, like Halo Infinite, will be available and play great on Xbox Series X and the Xbox One. We won't force you to upgrade to Xbox Series X at launch to play Xbox exclusives. Now, I know I've talked about this before, and I honestly want to hone in again on this because it's something that Xbox keeps bringing up. I love the fact that Xbox isn't dictating when we should buy their next generation console, and I respect the fact they aren't putting one of their big franchises tied behind this paywall of a new console. It's an old tradition that I think Xbox is right to get rid of. This to me is a direct attack against the strategy that Sony's PlayStation 5 is going in. Xbox is attacking the fact you need to buy a whole new console just to play a Spider-Man game that's about 5 to 10 hours long and more like a DLC. It's something that I feel Sony needs to go back on, because I have a feeling they could run that game on a PS4 or PS4 Pro and just take some of the features down. It's what Xbox is doing with Halo Infinite, along with all first-party games coming out for the next year or so. So it's a direct difference between the two companies, and it's something that Xbox is trying to capitalize on and show their customers, hey, you can stick on Xbox and play wherever you want. Now, of course, there's so much more that he's talked about in this article, talking about Game Pass and how they are committed to it, talking about backward compatibility games and how you can play 4 generations of Xbox on one console. Not to mention play all the games you currently have on your Xbox One come with you to the next generation. That includes accessories like controllers and headsets. But then he moves on to XCloud and how in September they will launch XCloud into Game Pass so you can play all your current gen games, not to mention all the games on Game Pass on any device you can stream them on. It's a massive endeavor for Microsoft and something no other company can compete with. It's taken them years to make this platform, and I have a feeling they're going to knock it out of the park. And to close it out and wrap everything up in a bow, here's what Phil Spencer had to say to close out his write-up. When you add it all up, Xbox Series X is the only next-generation console that lets you play new blockbuster games at the highest console fidelity, enjoy the latest blockbuster games the day they launch for one monthly price, play 4 generations of your games at higher fidelity than ever before, and play with friends wherever you want across your TV, PC, and mobile device. And with Xbox All Access, you can jump into next generation for one low monthly payment and no upfront costs. It's a future where you and your friends play the most immersive, responsive, and vivid games together on every screen in your life, and where games reach across the world and bring you stories you've never experienced before. It's a future in which you get more value from your games, and where everyone is welcome. There you have it, folks. Xbox Series X is going to be, in my opinion, the best place to play all your games. That includes third-party games, which will look insane on the console. You throw in all the features and the integration, and you have a company in Xbox that came ready to fight this generation. And I'm glad they took the time to develop all of this, and I'm glad they decided to make their stand this upcoming generation, because I want more competition this generation, and I want it between all gaming publishers. Sony, Xbox, Steam, Google, Apple, you name it, and I want competition. Because like I've said multiple times, like a broken record, competition only benefits us, the gamers. So let's hope this all continues, because right now, I'm loving everything I see leading up to the next generation. But enough about what I think about all of this. Tell me what you think about all of this. Do you like what Phil Spencer had to say here? Does the PS5 stand a chance on the performance side of the console? Do you like the confidence Xbox is taking this upcoming generation? What games do you think will show up at the July event? How competitive is Xbox going to be this generation? Does the power narrative matter to you? Go down below and let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support helps out the channel more than you know. And give me a follow on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my latest videos. Plus, I love interacting with everyone there, so get on Twitter and let's talk about gaming. Also, follow me on Xbox Live. My gamer tag is Zalker87, just like my channel name. See what games I'm playing, and let's compete in achievements for the month. Right now, I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima. I got the game pre-downloaded, I pre-ordered it, and I'm excited to play it. I want to see how the combat is and everything. It looks super brutal, and like I said, I play on everything. If you haven't played any of these PS4 games, I really think you're missing out. It's a lot of fun, and it's great to get a little balance. I love playing on my Xbox mostly, but I also enjoy gaming. So yeah, I'm going to play Ghost of Tsushima. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.